Okay, so here it is. This is a way for all you personal trainers out there and anyone who's interested in fitness to organize your thoughts into an exercise database. So if we start with just looking at these tabs at the bottom of the page, now basically what I do is we'll start here. Okay, so all of my squat-based exercises, so anything that includes a squat, so it's a big knee bend, will go under this tab right here. So we've got our normal base squat, got assisted squat, bodyweight squat, board wall squat. Then I've got my single leg squats, split squats, forward lunge, reverse lunge, and step up. So right in there, if I want to find a different type of squat for someone or any kind of variation of squat that I might have done over the past sort of 7, 8, 9 years, I can come in here and they're all right in here. And what's even better is I've linked certain videos to certain exercises to online videos. So it's very simple. This is done on Google Drive, on Google Sheets. You just if you find a video on YouTube or you make your own video, you click, you right click, and then you can insert a link, and then in there you just paste the link, and it will just as soon as you click it, it will take you to that exercise, which is fantastic. So if you're ever doing any sort of online training, online personal training, or want to help out a friend, that's how you do it. So I've got my squat-based exercises, I've got my deadlift-based exercises. So any deadlift variations all go in here. So I've got my normal deadlifts straight from the floor, Romanian deadlifts. So that's the exercise where it doesn't touch the floor, stiff leg deadlifts if you like. Single leg deadlifts, single leg Romanian deadlifts. And I also put my kettlebell swings, power cleans, and power snatches into this area as well. So when people say deadlift on the course, I say, what kind of deadlift do you know? And I'll normally say a conventional deadlift where your arms go outside of your feet, or they might say a sumo deadlift where your feet go outside your arms, and they'll say with a barbell. So they normally come up with an RDL with a barbell and two forms of deadlift. So there's not much variation for clients. There's not much variation for themselves. But realistically, we've got all of this that we can play from. And then I've got my chest-based exercises, so exercises that will work the chest, or kind of horizontal presses, if you want to call it that. You've got your press up, chest press, and dips. Again, loads to choose from in there. You've got shoulder-based exercises, shoulder presses, single arm shoulder presses, isolated deltoid work, sort of work stuff that's going to work. I've put rotator cuff, but this is also sort of mainly isolated shoulder and some back as well. So mid-low trapezius, rotator cuff, some rhomboid in there as well. And I've got some of my Turkish get-up progressions there. I've got my back exercises, not a load from here, but still plenty to choose from. Isolated leg, I don't do really any isolated quad work, do some isolated calf work, but I've got a ton to choose from the hamstrings, because although the hamstrings get a fair bit of work in the squat and the deadlift, we want to sort of hit them from the knee end, from a knee dominant position. My arms tab is really poor, because I don't do much arm training with any of my clients, because I mostly train sports people. And then I've got other tabs along the bottom. So any power exercise, I've broken them down again into body parts. And I've just got all my power exercises that I use right down there. So that's kind of how you can start to break it down. And what ends up happening is you don't start with all of these exercises. So when I first put the squat tab in, I would have started with assisted squat, bodyweight squat, and then probably back squat would have been the three I started with. Single leg squat, I would have just started with probably single leg box squat. And then over time, you suddenly remember an exercise, boom, it goes in there. Or you read an article and another exercise comes out, boom, it goes into there. Or you watch a video and you're like, oh, I like that. That can go into this part of my program. So it's over time, you start to build up this database. It doesn't happen overnight, it happens over the period of a couple of months. I've also got my mobility tab. So any of my mobility exercises, whether it be foam rolling, static stretching, joint mobility, active flexibility, dynamic flexibility, that all goes into this tab. So I've got loads of different exercises for hamstrings, for instance, for calves, for quads. My core exercises all go in here. So I break my core exercises into different categories: plank variations, sit-up and crunches, glute activation, anti-rotation, which I don't have many exercises in here because they link up quite nicely to some of the single arm, single leg work. I've put this new category in, carries and pulls. I only put that in yesterday, so I've only got a few in there at the moment. I've got my balance-based exercises. So I've got single leg balance and single leg dynamic balance. So that's very much a sporting type trait that we need to develop prior to SAQ training. And finally, I've got my SAQ tab. So linear speed drills, lateral speed drills, and rapid response. So I mean, that is just a really simple way that I can start to organize my thoughts, put all my exercises in one place, link some videos to them, and it becomes a very, very valuable resource for a personal trainer or someone who's just interested in training, who wants to continually evolve and change up their training. I hope that was helpful, and get onto Google Docs and Google Sheets, and design up your own exercise database.